The movie begins at the border wall of Otay Mesa. A woman named Perfidia surveys the detention center below. She's the leader of a small militant group planning a daring midnight raid. Among them is Pat, a nervous bomb expert, and several loyal fighters. Their goal? Free the prisoners being held inside. But there's a problem. The escape truck only fits 160 of the 250 detainees. So Perfidia decides women and children go first. The rest must run for their lives. Pat sets up explosives, while Perfidia orders a blinding light show and loud distractions, not just to confuse the guards, but to make their attack a statement to the world. The team climbs the wall, silently taking out sentries one by one. Inside, Perfidia comes face to face with Captain Lockjaw, the ruthless officer in charge. Unbothered, she smirks and says, "Name's Perfidia, Beverly Hills." She ties him up, grabs his radio, and sends a coded message over the airwaves. "Snap, crackle, pop, baby." That phrase becomes the spark of revolution. The prisoners rise up, cheering and firing into the night. Back at their hideout, Pat prepares more bombs, while Perfidia calls Senator Wilson, proudly claiming responsibility. Moments later, explosions light up the skyline and a power tower collapses, plunging the city into darkness. Her next target, the courthouse, at 7 p.m. But while planting bombs in the restroom, she's ambushed by Lockjaw. Despite his racist beliefs, he's obsessed with her. He demands his hat and gun back, tells her to meet him at 11 p.m., and, shockingly, kisses her before disappearing. That night, in a dim hotel room, Perfidia waits with a gun in her hand. But instead of killing each other, they fall into bed. Neither Pat nor the rest of the crew ever find out. Months later, Perfidia is heavily pregnant, but still trains with her fighters, shooting machine guns and laughing about violence. Pat, believing he's the father, watches uneasily. In a flashback, he meets her family, who think he's unworthy. After giving birth, Perfidia becomes bitter and cold. She mocks Pat, refuses to care for the baby, and finally walks away, leaving them both behind. Pat struggles as a single dad. Then, one day, Lockjaw finds him in a supermarket, mocking him and the child with racist slurs. Meanwhile, Perfidia joins a radical named Jungle Bum for a bank robbery that ends in disaster. A police chase, a car crash, and her arrest. Dragged through the station, she flips off the cheering officers in defiance. Later, in a hospital bed, bruised and restrained, Lockjaw visits her again. He offers protection, if she'll work for him. With no choice left, she agrees, and becomes a federal informant. Pat, still on the run, meets a tech expert who gives him 2 linked radio scanners that chime when near each other, symbols of trust between him and Perfidia. He takes his daughter to a new hiding place in Back Munton Cross. Meanwhile, Perfidia lives quietly in a suburban safe house under witness protection. But she's restless. She signs her papers, then secretly writes a rebellious note on one of them. On TV, she sees Lockjaw being awarded a medal for heroism. A man named Jack visits her home with a gift, but she won't answer the door. When he breaks in later, she's already gone, vanished without a trace. 16 years pass. Her daughter, Willa, has grown up strong, a disciplined karate student with her father's grit and her mother's fire. Pat, older now, watches her proudly. At a school meeting, he breaks down in tears when the teacher praises her, claiming her mother died young. But the world outside has changed. Camps have turned into militarized prisons ruled by an aging Colonel Lockjaw. He's been recruited into an elite secret group called the Christmas Adventurers Club. Powerful men obsessed with purity and control. Across town, the same tech specialist who once helped Pat is writing a new revolutionary manifesto in a diner. Before he can finish, masked men abduct him. 2 young boys witness it. One sends the coded ham radio alert. Billy the Kid has flown the coop. The message spreads through underground networks. Under torture and threats to his family, the tech reveals Pat's location. Lockjaw launches Operation Boot Heel, kill Rocket Man, and capture Willa. Soldiers swarm the town. Pat argues with Willa. He's drunk, paranoid, terrified of losing her. Before letting her go to the school dance, he forces her to take one of the trust scanners for safety. At the dance, a mysterious woman warns Willa to run. Meanwhile, Pat gets a coded call that Lockjaw is coming. When asked the old revolutionary countersign, "What time is it?" he freezes. He's been away too long. Moments later, Lockjaw storms his house. Pat escapes through a hidden tunnel. Disguised as a drifter, he hides in the city, losing contact with his allies as raids sweep through factories and streets. He reunites with an old friend, Sergio, who shelters him in a dojo. Meanwhile, Willa travels with Lady Champagne, learning the painful truth. Her father lied. Her mother betrayed the revolution years ago. The Adventurers Club grows impatient and orders Virgil, formerly Jack, to kill both Lockjaw and Willa. At the convent of the Sisters of the Brave Beaver, Willa trains under Mother Superior Rochelle, proving herself in combat and discovering the nuns are actually a militant order. Pat, captured but clever, fakes illness to escape and reunites with Sergio. Lockjaw learns where they are and brings the war to the convent. The final battle erupts. Gunfire fills the halls as armed nuns fight back against Lockjaw's soldiers. In the chaos, Willa is captured. Lockjaw performs a DNA test and discovers the truth. Willa is his daughter. Enraged, he kidnaps her. Pat and Virgil chase him through the desert. Virgil rams Lockjaw's car off the road. Pat rushes to the wreck, thinking his daughter's gone, but it's Lockjaw's body in the flames. Willa, alive, escapes thanks to a bounty hunter who secretly lets her go. Later, she crosses paths with Virgil. When he fails to respond to her coded phrase, she shoots him. Soon after, she reunites with Pat. He doesn't remember the code, but she recognizes him instantly. They embrace, father and daughter, finally together. But Lockjaw isn't finished. He crawls back to the Adventurers Club, demanding his reward. Instead, they turn on him. Locked inside a chamber, he's gassed to death. A fitting end for a man who trusted no one. In the final moments, Willa opens a letter from her mother. Perfidia's voice narrates softly, words of regret, love, and hope. She calls Pat "my ghetto Pat" and asks her daughter, whose real name was Charlene, to give him a kiss for her.